All for you, Isabel. All for you, Isabel.
Good to be back, yeah?
Good to be back.
Yes, sir.
Hey, James. How are you, buddy? I'm good. Okay, so thanks so much for coming out tonight. Appreciate it. I think it's really important for us, certainly important for me as a hairdresser, to push forward, try and create some magic. Thanks for coming out for our first social distanced education, and we're filming it so we can promote it because we are back in business, and being back in business means you got to push on. So with Kelly Marina, is that correct?
Yes. Absolutely.
Kelly Marina. You'll see Kelly Marina when we put up our new photo shoot. We did a photo shoot on March the 2nd. So you know what it's like when you're doing a photo shoot. You get all the work done. You do the shoot, and then you breathe for a second while you start to do the first edit, and then Corona came. So we're still working on the edit. But we did some amazing photographs with 8 models, and Kelly Marina was one of them. We're going to do a classic shape, long layers with a razor, and we're going to make this fine hair look full, thick, and lush in a very wash and wear type of way. So I'm damping the hair with water because the water's going to get the hair ready to accept product. Products really goes into the hair when the cuticle is risen, so when the hair's wet, the product can absorb into the hair nicely. And I'm going to put volume foam. I'm going to pack it with volume foam because she does have fine hair, but if I pack it with volume foam, then it's going to kind of soak right in. And I also want to welcome some of our prospective students who will be starting in one of our classes in September. So if you're starting, are you coming to school?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you? Yeah, anybody else? Yeah, boom.
Hey.
And we have night class going on in the back, which is exciting. And we've actually started moving from distance learning to now practical. So we're really starting to bring the energy back. You can see we took away the desk that was like taking away a wall, and we opened up the changing rooms, which are a thing of the past now for us, because now everybody comes in and we just cape and shampoo. We cape and drape and shampoo, and it's a quicker kind of experience within the space. And we figured that we don't really need changing rooms so much anymore, so we used it to create more space for our lounge here. So prepping the hair with the volume foam, and then I'm going to get my razor. I'll change the blade, and I'll hand you over to Izzy Finizzy.
Yay. Hi, everybody. So nice to be back. Alright, so this is our lovely model Delphine. What we're going to do today, she's got a lot of hair, lots of kind of heavy wavy texture. We want to create a very layered shape that's going to take lots of the weight out and create and enhance that movement and texture. So I've kind of like separated the length here. So we like having these like almost continual hair at the bottom that are quite separate from like the heaviness inside. So I've braided 2 little pieces here, and I'm going to layer out this middle band now using lots of kind of concave layering, which will bring more length to the bottom, and it will slim more of the parietal area out. And then we're going to layer this also in. So I'm using the scissors today, and lifting, you can see, starting in my front section, lifting everything kind of above the round of the head, super flat, just to kind of bring that length, work towards the length that we've already got through the bottom. And that'll almost melt into those little pieces that we've braided out. And yeah, just working towards that length there behind the ear. This piece through here now, I'm going to lift up. My over direction, I'm kind of following the shape of the head round, and that'll give you a really nice round texture as well.
So a couple of things that have definitely happened since we started is we've completely eliminated apprentices. We just have new talent, so completely eliminated. And before, you know this idea of new talent, which means that when someone joins your company, and this is how I'm thinking right now because we're in a major change. So before, you would hire someone, they'd apprentice for a number of months, if not a number of years. And what we would do when we started with our new talent program, which was literally, we started that new talent program about 18 months ago, we would give our hairdressers in new talent 1 day to actually do hair, to be able to be booked. And then we would give our hairdressers, they would then assist or they would support for 3 days. Well, the new concept is they just get straight put on the books, 100%. And it's up to them to build, and when they're not working, as in if they're not doing a client, they're supporting. So straight away, we're changing the dynamic in that capacity. And I have to say, it's working out really, really good because we're not holding anybody back. I met a young lady who came to my school, and she's joining us next week. She's going to be focusing on hair cutting, and she's, in a 3-year training program. And I said to her, when you join my company, there's no training, there's no time. You can take clients straight away. And I said to her, I said, when you was at school, did you take clients? She said, yes. I said, well, straight away in my salon, you join my company, you'll get 4 days, it's a 4-day week, you'll get 4 days to be able to do clients. A reduced price, the new talent price is 50% off the stylist level 1 price. I think one of the things that I like about it more than anything is it forces you to really think carefully about who you're hiring. Because if you're hiring somebody, you've got to really think they're going to be accepting clients. So for example, if a mother comes in with a child, that might be very easy to say, hey, why don't you take the young 15, 14, 13, 12-year-old child. So you got to think about when you're hiring them, is the person that you're hiring able to take clients today? And that has been a really good thing for me because I'm in a super rebuild mode. So classic razoring, using the flat of the blade, combing the hair straight down, the integrity of the hair. Really with the razor, as I say, it's sculptural. It was quite interesting actually, because my last client was a very successful sculptor. She was kind of quirky, and I'm doing her hair because her hairdresser left my salon. And one of the things that I do in my business to keep clients is I offer them a visit with me at the same price as the stylist. So if they want to stay with me, they want to stay with my brand, I'm happy to accept them at the price that they were intending to pay. So obviously it could be seen as a very good upgrade. As I was cutting her hair, she had quite a quirky style, and she was a very intricate and detailed. She was a teacher and she's a sculptor, and we did an asymmetrical type shape. And as I was cutting her hair, she said, I think I'm going to be I think I'm spoilt now, because she said, I think I might have to come back to you. Well, obviously my price is quite high, so I said, we'll just keep you for a little bit at the same price, and then I'll hand you off into one of my new team members, because we're literally rebuilding the team. So it's kind of like going all the way back to when we started the business, but we're not starting from zero. We're starting with a platform. The challenge is obviously the financial constraints. We still have the same overhead, and the payroll for the infrastructure is still very heavy, and we don't have the cash flow. But I can tell you, it feels really exciting to have that as the problem, because for the last 5 months, The problem has been not being able to be in the game. So at least now we're in the game. And being in the game means that we can push on. This is my 8th haircut of the day, I believe. 8th or 9th haircut of the day. I've been busy today. Uh-oh. I pulled off your knickers. I mean your thing. Your bra. It's like exposed. When you pull it off, when the elastic comes off, it's like, what did I do? Yeah, exposed. And look, I'm doing it again. Keep that little thing on there. I'm learning how to work around the mask in this new crazy world. Because you remember the time when you sat there and said, how the hell are we going to do hair again? Well, now we do it with the mask, the goggles, my butcher's robe. Yeah, the whole 9 yards. But I have to tell you, it's a lot better than what I thought. It's a different experience. My shampooing's getting really good because I do a lot of my own shampoos. Yeah, so and my blow drying's getting better. Yeah, because I'm blow drying again. Because before I wouldn't blow dry, but today I'm blow drying way more, and I'm kind of working on my styling because I want speed. So I'm trying to work on a quick way to style. Because we're in the volume business, and I've got to get back to volume. And that means volume means number of clients, it means quality of service. And what we're doing as a business is we're focusing on our infrastructure. So next week we have a new somebody new to join the management team. Last week we had 4 new people start on the front desk. It's kind of like our front desk team. And then we're working on our leadership team. Then we're going to be starting to pull together on changing how we do business too. So these are all processes, but the first thing is get in business first. And once you're in business the way that you was, then start to look and say, what can we do better? And I'm not planning to rebuild my business the same way that it was. I've been there and done that. So I'm planning to rebuild my business in a new way. And those details will come out as I now start to focus in on all of that. One of the great things about the razor, it is like a sculpting tool. One of the great things about the razor, it's very fluid. And it's really the intention within the hair. Keep your sections really nice and clean. And you'll notice we're starting to move into elevation. We both have 2 haircuts for you today. And I found a new place to go to that's closer than Adora Lay. So if anyone wants to come for a drink, we're going to San Marino. Which is really the 4-point Sheraton. But it's nice, it's outside and it's covered. So if it rains, we're good.
That sounds great.
Yes, but you're not coming.
My birthday tomorrow.
Is it?
Yeah.
27?
Right. 29. Last year.
It's your birthday tomorrow. You're 29.
Yeah.
And then it's Andrew's on Tuesday.
Yeah. Wednesday.
Is that Wednesday?
Yeah.
Wow.
You have your own set of razors, right?
Say that again?
You have your own set of actual razors, right?
Yeah, this is the Erojo razor. This is a handcrafted wood razor. Do you have the red razor, Isabel?
Yes.
So this is the more expensive one. You're coming to school. You won't get this one because these take the unguarded razors. You'll get one that looks the same as that, but actually takes a guarded blade. So it's much safer. Because this, one cut, and that's it. You're going to the hospitale. Yeah?
I'm going to use the red one also on my next model. So you'll see a little red razor action.
And we're starting our classes. So I have a Razor Fundamentals class in just over 2 weeks, February the 13th and 14th, September the 14th and 15th, or 13th and 14th. 13th and 14th. Then what's next, Loretta?
After that, we've got American Wave on the 27th.
And that is going to be very interesting because me and Carl are going to be working on that one, because in Brooklyn we've actually put up a stage and we're keeping it there. And we're turning it into our digital studio. And the American Wave certification is going to be online. So when you sign up for American Wave, we send you in a box a head, the wave, the rods, the tools, the tail comb, the clamp. So you get like a wave box, and then we're going to certify people across the country online. And we're setting up a very, very sophisticated rig, which will be permanent, because the reason why it's going to be permanent is because online learning, I don't know if you know this, Loretta, I'm sure you do, online distance learning has now become permanent. So before you had to get permission from the state. When this happened, we had to get permission from the state to do distance learning for theory. So we got the permission from the state, then we had to get permission from NACUS. And then when this pandemic pedaled on for longer, we then had to do the same thing for practical. So people say, well, practical sounds really difficult to be able to teach someone from home. But we've been doing it for the last 6-8 weeks, Loretta? Yeah. So where the student actually practices at home and the teacher watches. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that to the next level. And one of my ambitions, along with my newfound friend, Mr. Carl over here, who's the man with the camera, there he is. Yeah, he is going to be, we're putting together a studio which will be rigged kind of like a QVC set. So I've been on QVC, so when you go to QVC, there's no men in there, no people. It's just all automated cameras. So you're in the room and it's just you and the cameras. So we're rigging that up, and we'll also be able to have a big screen that we'll be able to see what you're doing at home. So we're changing the dynamic. And that's something that, because of the new world that we're now living in, I believe that there's a massive big opportunity for us to really do like the best offering of digital education. So when our students join us, because of the distance learning, we'll be set up with a much more sophisticated rig than what we've had to work with now. And it means that we'll be able to offer even better education. And it also means that if a program in New York is 7 months, 1,000 hours, it also means you can utilize the space so much more, because you don't need a student to come into class if you're doing a textbook class. If you're studying anatomy, or if you're studying an infectious disease, that can easily be done virtually, which frees up classroom time, which means that we can actually service more students through our school. And you know, we just started. I mean, I just spent so much money renovating and I was putting a big barbering zone into the school in Tribeca, which we now closed. I mean, it's been one hell of a journey, but we made it to this point. And so we also had our aesthetics room, and we had that approved for Tribeca. Now, the way you have to get everything approved by everybody, there's so many different agencies, and I'm actually starting to push back, and I'll tell you why. I've been pushing back against the government, the state, for this closing. I've been pushing back with my fellow hairdressers in California, because some salons haven't been allowed to be open. I think we've been pushed around too long. And if you've been watching my Nick at Nines, which I do every Tuesday at 9 o'clock, we've been having some very interesting guests, and we've been educating ourselves on how we can have a voice, because we realize that hairdressers don't really have a voice. There's no one sitting at the table. Tomorrow on Nick at 9, I have a gentleman by the name of Steve Sleeper. I'll be interviewing Steve Sleeper. It's really more of a chat. He's the president of the PBA, the Professional Beauty Association. It's the biggest association And a lot of hairdressers really want to know what the PBA's been doing. And last week we had Frank Fulco, who's the head of America's Beauty Show and the America's Cosmetology Association. So we're really pushing forward. And then we had a great guy on from a Beauty Federation of California, who was an attorney, who really laid out how to get a voice. So that's one of the things that we're focused on. And we're starting a group called Hairdressers United, because we want to unite hairdressers across America so that we don't ever go through what we've been through in the last 4 or 5 months. Yeah, good job, Kate. Does everybody know Kate? She's our social media diva. You might have seen her also in our photo shoots, because she's also been in our windows modeling, and she makes all of our creative stuff. So there's one side done, and you can see we'll just let this air dry. Are you guys cold, or is it good temperature wise? Yeah, because you're not cold. Good. Just making sure. She's never cold, is she? We put her in the fridge, she'd still be warm. You're just hot, baby. Mama Jean's just hot. Mama Jean's always hot. Right, I'll go this way. What's going on is...
Alright, so come to the top section, and I'm just using kind of the guide of where I want the fringe, the bangs to sit as well. And then just elevating each section above, high and high each side. What that's going to give me is a much flatter finish through the top, so it does create a lot of texture and movement. But also, just takes lots of the weight down and make sure that it's not sitting really heavy in the front. So kind of following my direction. Again, following the head shape towards the back. So keeping everything super round. And yeah, just kind of looking at where the texture's going each time as well. I almost like when you've got something that's like slimmer and varietal, and it becomes a little wider, kind of from the jaw and the top of the head as well. It just gives a nice shape with curly hair, just something a bit interesting and different. And obviously when we let the little braids out, we'll still have those longer pieces of curl through the bottom as well. But yeah, it's been back cutting hair and back in the salon now. It's been super amazing, you know, I feel really grateful. Cutting hair for you guys.
We opened up the salon here on July. The end of June we opened up. We opened it up for literally 6 or 7 days. Then we closed it. And we all moved over to Williamsburg. So I've been cutting hair in Williamsburg for the last 6 weeks with my team.
Yeah, that was super fun.
And now we're back over here. And you know, it's a build. Yeah, so the key is just you got to get up every day, and you take it day by day, and you take it step by step, and you do the best that you can.
Nick, why are you using the wave, Mr. Cut?
Well, because again, I'm just putting product into the hair. Yeah, I'm putting product into the hair. I've got to do everything right now. I'm back to that again. You know, when we was busy, what happens is when you get successful, sometimes it's easy for you to ease off the things that you have to do every day, yeah? But if you ease off, everybody else eases off. So right now my goal is to show everybody how to retail as best as possible. And the good news is last week my average retail ticket per client, I did 40 clients, my average retail ticket was $25 per client. So again, it's trying to lead by example. So if product becomes an afterthought, you never win. If product becomes part of the service, you win. And it's not hard, it's just all about communication. Of course, now with our redesign, one of the biggest challenges that I have, which we're going to address, because there's always challenges, but you have to tackle each challenge. You can't tackle them all today. So one of the challenges right now, all our retail's in the corridor and in here, and it's not even finished or set. But that's the next step, is to put retail more into the salon so that the client's more aware of it. You can't give up on educating your client. And I'll tell you, once the client opens the purse to buy one product, you got a good chance they'll buy two, just like anything in life. Once you get them in the buying zone, then they go, oh yeah, I need the shampoo. Oh, what about the conditioner? Yeah, you know, what about that thing I used? Oh yeah. So just really trying to always make sure that you're delivering on your service. I mean, right now, because of the amount of hairdressers that have left, I have so many clients. What that means is, I mean, like last week, we serviced, we have over 100 clients to give, because clients are loyal to the brand. It always happens. When people move on, some people go with the hairdresser, some people stay with the salon, and some people just go somewhere else because now they can. Yeah, I usually say it's 50 go with the hairdresser, 50%, and then you have 25% that stay with the salon, and you have 25% that disappear. They look at it and they say, you know, maybe it's time for a change, because there's an abundance of salons. But we're now living in a new world. Yeah, we're now living in a new world. It's not the same world. So anything that's happening right now is very different from what was happening. So you can't really measure it, but we do know where we've come from. So I do think those metrics are somewhat correct. But, you know, why is it a different world? Well, I think 50% of our clients can't even come to New York. Yeah, they can't. They're not going to come from New Jersey. They don't want to travel. I've seen clients that have been out for the very first time in 4 months. Yeah, that's what I've seen. New York, if you read the news, you'll notice the Upper West Side, which is a great feeder for my salon, because we're on the west side of Manhattan. The Upper West Side is going through an exodus, because the hotels up there are putting the homeless in, and the homeless have no services, so they're on the streets. Now, I've not been up there, but this is now a very hot topic, and it's destroying the what was the Upper West Side, which was known for families, and it was known for good schools and by the park, and a really nice place to live. But because of the change in New York, you know, which is kind of heartbreaking, you know, that's also going to affect my business. So what I've got to do is I've got to not just rely on existing, but I've got to rely on getting new. Not just new hairdressers, but new clients completely to the salon. And that's what my focus is. But again, you know, the way in which I communicate to my clients will be one that will hopefully help to get them to come back to us, and also get them, we're not even if the exodus of New York is happening, what's going to happen is it's going to come back and it'll be new people. For example, next week I have a stylist, Scott. He's joining from Florida. He's moving with his family to New York to be a hairdresser in New York City. So while you'll see people move away because of the obvious reasons, you'll also see people say, you know, I'm going to go and fulfill my dream now. Yeah, because you may be cooped up for 3 months in the state and think, you know what, maybe now's the time to give it a shot. So that's how I think, and that's what I look for. I'm just always trying to, you know, I mean, listen, there are days when you come to work and you've got no clients. There are days where you come to work and it's like, God, we don't feel inspired. Maybe concerned about the financial side of things. Maybe you're a hairdresser, you're not making as much as you did. But, you know, you just gotta push on. You got to be resilient. And I think for somebody like me who's been around for a while, who's done hair for a long time, I know that if I just keep doing the right things religiously, good things will come about. It's that just constant motion of repetition. Be consistent. push on, try and stay positive. That's the great thing about wearing a mask. You could be really upset, but no one knows.
I have no resting bitch.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, you've got no what?
No resting bitch face.
That's right. But I can see it in the eyes. Yeah, I mean, seriously. You know, sometimes you're with your client, you can put your tongue out. So, you know, I mean, I'd love to, obviously, we have to wear these masks, but, you know, at the end of the day, I'm looking for brighter days when we can get back to living life the way we're supposed to.
Who's teaching the very fundamental stuff?
Me. You know what? This year started out really optimistic. You know, I've been really, obviously I've been pushing my business and my brand forward as much as possible. We had a phenomenal January in both the product and the school. It's a journey. It's like we're always moving, we're doing different things. So, you know, we went with our products into distribution and we felt like the distributors were not giving the same love that we'd hoped, so we pulled away from distribution. And our education, we'd been doing a lot. We had so much education on the calendar. When you open this book, yeah, and all these books are fresh out of the box, no one's touched them, just that's the way that it is. And all these chairs were sterilized. We sterilized every chair, you know, with an abundance of safety. But, you know, we started the year with like so much education and it all got smashed. And I returned so much money. And even today, because of the quarantining, how hard is it to travel? Because, you know, you got to quarantine if you go, or people coming in. But if we don't start it, it's like I've got to start it because starting it is the magic. So I have 5 classes till the end of the year.
Is that particular course going to be here hands-on or?
Hands-on. Razor hands-on. Razor fundamentals hands-on. So when you... Yeah, so when you come, it's going to be masks and visors or masks and goggles. We can do it. I'm very confident. Yeah, I'm very confident we can teach safely. And I have a classic cutting class in October. It's a 3-day classic cutting class. I'm going to teach 6 different haircuts, all hands-on. And then I have a 2-day razor advanced class at the end of October. And then we have 1 more American wave class. And then I'm also getting on the road to Buffalo to teach a class. So my philosophy is I got to play my part in bringing back some normalcy into my universe and into our world. And that's what I'm doing. Last week I did clients 6 days a week. This week I'm doing clients 6 days a week. I've not stopped. It's tough. You know, it's hard work. You had a full day today. And I've got no support. I have support, but if they're busy because we're on a shoestring, then I just have to up my pace. I mean, I've got some great people they hit the ground running. I mean, I'm training my front desk team from the beginning, but we took on a young lady called Paula who was here first. She was here before the pandemic really happened. I brought her in to start helping me get ready for the opening of the salon. And then we had 2 other young ladies who were here, Lisa and Mishi, all front desk. So literally just teaching and training every day, helping to overcome. And then we just hired another 3 people as we continue to push on and build. But it's very much, you know, I mean, like it's been so broken because of the leadership team gone. But now we're kind of getting the chance to rebuild it, which is really exciting. There's no money, so I'm not even thinking about the money. Yeah, don't worry about the money. I'm not worried about the money. I've gone back into the old playbook, which I never really went away from. But the old playbook is, if you want to make money, just do great things. If you do great things and you focus on great things, you've got a chance of making money. Yeah? But if you focus on money, I don't think it's going to work. So it's like day by day. The way you make great is making sure every client takes a product home. Yeah, if we did 20,000 this week, let's do 22,000 next week. If I'm a hairdresser and I get 3 new clients this week, I want 4 next week. That's the discipline. That's the discipline. And the cost of business is higher now. You have to clean the space more. You have to pay more cleaning bills. Yeah, so it's more sanitary. You've got all the PPE, which, you know, people are taking, they don't just take a mask, they put their hand in. And they take 10. Isabel. Say that again? No, not yet. They're on the construction sites, the inspectors. That's where they're at. They're on the construction site. They can make more money. Yeah, they're right. I was told that there's a lot of people on the construction sites. I'm going to go to scissors now because now I've got kind of the shape. Now I need to just seal it up a little bit. I don't want to keep wetting the hair down. You have to razor cut with the hair. You have to razor cut with the hair damp, but then allow the hair to dry. So scissor cutting. And I'm just going to skim through this before I go into my next one. Are you setting the curls?
I am, yeah.
What did you use?
So I just went down with some of the hydro mix, which I'm sure you all really is beautiful product, like leave-in conditioning spray. Smells amazing.
You have to pull the mask down, spray it in, and then away you go.
And I have a question for you, Shirley.
Yeah, please.
Got excited what he was saying. So when you dropped out the braids,
Yeah.
did you create any kind of blank or you just let it disconnect?
Just like this next
So you didn't blend it up. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like right under kind of the occipital bone,
Okay.
and just settle around behind the head. Just like a preference, really. Like you could go full head if you wanted to, and have like all the
Okay, you like the one. Okay, it's nice.
Yeah.
Gives that edge.
Well, I like it just to open up the face a little more. So I use some of the structure also, and some of the elixir. I just mix the two. Well, not together, put them separately, but they're a nice combo. That's the American Wave product. So it's going to give me some hold, with some moisture, obviously. And yeah, hopefully just enhance that curl a little bit. I'm just going to do like an air dry with the diffuser today. Amplify all this beautiful texture. And then at the end we'll just shake it down, like get my real rock and roll there. Just got a little texture, right? Just kind of find the curl as well. Like don't fight the texture, it's like just kind of push it to where it wants to go and then go with that, you know? And this can stay really free through the top as well. And no setback when you breathe in.
This weekend we're going to have a sale on Arrojo Pro, 25% off. So if anyone's interested in scissors, razors, tools, this weekend we have a 25% off sale for Labor Day.
Can you tell us about the blow dryer?
Yeah, the blow dryer is going to be it's getting delivered into Florida, which is where the company that I did the licensing with. They're accepting the blow dryers on the 14th of September. So the blow dryers will be available, we're hoping, by the end of September, ready to sell. We don't know the exact pricing on the blow dryer yet, but I can tell you, I've used this blow dryer for the last... I sat at that big table there and a guy came and he said to me, I want to make tools with you, Nick. So I said, okay. And he presented me some stuff and we started working and we built like a nice relationship, and he was very progressive in wanting to do tools. But as we got closer into the business side, I started to feel like the deal wasn't right, but the blow dryer was right. And even though I couldn't really afford it, I said we can't not do blow dryers. So we have a big shipment of blow dryers coming into our world, and I've been using that dryer, like I said, for the last almost the last year, and it's been fantastic. And now I'm blow drying, it's even more fantastic because it's so light. You know, I mean, we really studied because, you know, The number one blow dryer in America is the Dyson. Yeah, it's the most expensive. The Dyson, yeah, and a lot of people have been using it. Yeah, but I don't like it. Yeah, I don't like it. So I was like, you know what, I think there's a place. And the lightness of this dryer with the long cord, and it's not loud. See how light it is? Lighter than an iPhone.
This is high?
Sorry? That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's it. It's loud. It's got everything, and it's got this little button here, which I'm into, which is the ion off and on. So if it's thick and frizzy, put it on. If it's fine and light, turn it off. Because the ionizer actually just helps. The ionics, they help to smooth out and collapse the hair. So it's a nice little addition. The rest, just the two buttons. You got the loud one. That's the old-fashioned one.
This is the old school.
The old school, retro, baby. Say that again. Now that was the best dryer. That's the. So both dryers, countries are typically good for certain things. Like Japan is really good for scissors. Korea is really good for irons. Italy is really good for blow dryers. So you know, certain countries are good at certain things. Now you will still have other countries make tools. But typically speaking, the electronics is South Korea, like the smoothing irons, the wands, scissors, Japan, combs, Japan, and then blow dryers, Italy. So both are Italian blowers. We work with Italian manufacturers, and they're actually both competitors. This is Gamma, and that's Parlux. But Parlux is very expensive, and I like to be a little bit more reasonably priced. So my new students, if they're starting, they'll be getting my new blow dryer because they'll be done in time. So you can see this is starting to look exactly as I'd hoped. So New York's definitely starting to see a little bit of uptick as well, which is nice. You know, we're starting to notice more. My client came in this morning. She's not been to New York. She said she was dying to get back because everybody kind of left. And my intention was, if we can get back in business before September, then if this back to school thing kicks, it'll really help and we'll be right at the perfect time and I'm more prepared. First time she's been back since March. And she says that in Boston, she's been living up in Boston, is like a ghost town. But she was super excited to see people on the streets. I remember coming down here way back at the beginning in April, and it was a ghost town. You wouldn't find anything open apart from McDonald's. So me and Mickey D's had a date every day. Wide tooth of the comb, razor comb. I want to go with the wide tooth of the comb. I'm allowing the hair to dry. Just sealing the cuticle with my comb and my scissor. My next haircut will be a razor bob. I'm back to I do Brooklyn Live every Thursday. Me and Kate always have fun on Brooklyn Live. So that's our Thursday morning. And Nick at 9 is on Tuesday night. That's our kind of conversational piece. And soon, with the digital studio, one of the things that we're going to be offering is we're going to be offering a training program for all salons. So we're going to do like a full training program so we can teach you. So you can use those tools for your own staff. So that's something in the next couple of weeks. I mean, I've been educating myself. I don't stop. I won't stop because guess what? I've got too much to work for. I've been educating myself in hair color. I stocked all the dispensaries with L'Oreal. I've really studied L'Oreal, and we start classes with L'Oreal literally in this month. And you might want to tune in because Kate's going to film them for us. We're going to go live. I'm going to do a double process blonding class with all the different colors, all the different products, and I'm going to do a model. So I'm going to do some color. And then I'm going to do a balayage class the L'Oreal way, and I'm going to do a model. So I'm going to do some painting. And what you'll say, well, why are you doing that, Nick? I'll say, because you know what? It's very important for me now, having once had a big team of colorists, it's very important for me now to go back to A, understand the product, and B, understand the technique. It's a different world. I need something new for me too. I want to stay stuck in the same zone. So I'm not saying I'm going to start seeing me do color in the salon, but I'm really going to practice because I want my technique I want to be knowledgeable about what we do. I really do. And I'm really excited for the double process blonding class because I hate it when it doesn't come out nice. So I really want to study it and I want to get the product down so I get it perfect. And we're done with Kelly Marina. We'll need a little bit more products, but the first thing that we'll do is, let's take this out. Oh, take that out.
All that.
And that. I need, Jane, would you do me a favor? Would you get me some glint? Glint. Oh, you have it there? Good. No, don't worry about it. Hold that. Oh man, talking with this mask on, so I've been all day like this. All day. You feel the fur on the back of your throat, don't you? I'll need some medicine later to help me. Always. Oh, always. Always happens here, Carl. Always happens here. Let's just give it a quick blast and then we'll get our second models. And then we'll... Does anyone watch us, Kate?
Yep.
Anyone ask us any questions, Kate?
Rosie said it was the layer cut, and then Bruce said, does it look one length to you?
Who said that?
I don't know what you mean. Bruce said, you asked me with a layer cut.
Whoa, it's going down.
It's going down.
What else do we got? Everyone's happy with the happy Mondays are back. And Rosie, this is a long layer cut, to answer your question.
Long layers, Rosie. God bless you.
Somebody asked if NyQuil was the medicine that you were talking about.
Yes. That's exactly the medicine I was talking about. Me and NyQuil.
There was a question earlier about curly hair and if you should use a razor or not.
That's a great question because a lot of people say you shouldn't use a razor on curly hair. It's not the razor that does the damage. It's the person that's using the razor. Yeah. So, you can do damage with scissor. So it's not the razor, but you got to learn how to wield it. That's why you need to come to like razor fundamentals. Head over, all the way, babe. Shake it out, birthday girl. That's a good question. Well, when you cut hair wet, it's easier to control. Because Vidal Sassoon, who was the pioneer of scissor cutting, the reason he cut hair wet, precision-based scissor cutting, is because the hair's easier to control. But when the hair's dry, it's more visual. So you see its true personality. So that's why the important thing is to learn both. But the best thing to do is to learn. You want to learn wet hair cutting initially because it's more precise, easier to manage, and it's more architectural. Then when you get into, once you understand the construction of shape, then you can start to focus on deconstruction. So, you know, some companies just do dry, that's their thing. Some companies just do wet. We like to try and do it all, study everything. And you'll experience that at the school here, because you'll experience all of our guest hairdressers and all of their different styles. Can you hang out until the end, babe?
Sure.
Great, so we'll switch you out with that young lady and we'll bring Sarah over. And you can take some selfies now.
Yeah, perfect.